I get Chris Peterman's Chelsea and Autumn Clawson goals because he knew that if that kid got raped on that contract, encouraging the sexual exploitation of a minor would go against me, and Claire would be in there. Well, therefore, Chris gets to represent Autumn, Chelsea, and Claire in Crossroads. That should be enough to arrest me, right? But there it wasn't. We have Ashley and we have the Diana chick in there with because I stopped the Clawson crime. Now they had to give me new information of a woman who's a drug addict who is accused and could get charged of pimping her children to a guy, right? When she never did. The guy's abusing her kids. She was in rehab with me. Well, after that, you go to the free by the sea thing. The reason for Autumn Clawson getting molested on the bus wasn't just for Chelsea and Claire and everybody to be victims and everybody on this block around here to be victims or my mom and this family. It was so Washington State are victims too. So Johnny Huff, Ryan, who had the sperm donor who had the kid, now he's a victim. And so is Vince. Why Ryan's a victim and Vince and Johnny obviously had what happened to him as a kid. Vince, haven't checked out much stoner, but he would be a victim due to Ryan because of the sexual exploitation of what happened to Chelsea Clawson. All three of them would be victims. Now Chris has six people to represent. I stopped all this. You see, big fucking deal, right? That's just a backup mechanism, same as the Curtis and the other girl with her kids that are staying the night there. That's just backup shit. And then you have Shelby who got beat up, and you have the other girl, Carrie Eunuch, who is fucking schizo, and you have all that shit. Michelle, who they tried to set me up for the heroin thing and all that stuff at Free by the Sea. You move on to Crestview. You have the setups with Bryce Fly, Nate. You have the other setups with possible other girls. You with Alexis, who knew Forrest Nelson. Then you go on to Idaho. You move on to Mike Tomlinson, who links back to Tasia Bellwood's murder. Tasia Bellwood's murder, December 24th, 2004. Move on to the date of New Year, his birthday, girl dies in Washington, yada yada yada, why I met him. Then you move on to Todd at that rehab who pulled his fucking braces out with pliers, the Jenny L. Clark thing. Then you move on to the sober house where you get the girl who died of taking 3 hits of heroin because it was laced with fentanyl. You go on from that into the kid who's going to kill himself, all the other shit, the girl that's going to prostitute herself, and then the guy who's committing child molestation that I had to get his phone number from so I could track him in the future. You move to that from Portland. And now what you have done essentially is I'm done with the contracts. So Chris is set up on embezzlement for sending me to Crossroads and Free by the Sea. Why I had to go to Crestview and still have these jobs in this intelligence is now it moved on to Douglas County setting me up on embezzlement for racketeering. So they want me to embezzle money through Cedar Hills Hospital. They want me to embezzle money through Crestview and North Point and Just for Today house and McMiniman's house, and then continue to do it at my mom's house because then Chris Peterman can represent an insurance fraud. And this is what this guy is trying to do and what he has been trying to do. And why Keith and Addie say, oh, we'll get all his police reports. They're not talking about my police reports. They're talking about Chris having all my financial evidence. And then they could easily settle insurance companies like Addie did for her hip for all the money back. And it's in my mom's name because she's contracted with me since April 30th of 2012. And people want to play like this is some kind of game. And Chris wants to play like he could actually play this kind of lawyer when he has no evidence, won't look into it, and hasn't done shit.